Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen up. He's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Welcome fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang. Wherever there's a hang, you'll find a Spider-Man.
Hey everyone, welcome to Storytime with Spidey. It's me, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, with you as always. And oh, people joining in already. Hi there, Julian and Mark. Sorry I'm so late getting started today, but once again, got kind of tangled up in my own web of responsibilities. There's a lot going on in the world today that may have some of you young web spinners a little confused, maybe even a little scared. I know that you've seen where a lot of people are angry and maybe you don't know what to think because you're being told different things about it all. And I know what you're going through, believe me. The thing that you have to understand is that there are going to be people in the world who will just simply choose to not like you. And they won't have a good reason for it. It won't be because of anything that you've done. You won't have wronged them in any way. But they will just find something about you that they don't like and just run with it. It might be something as simple as what you look like, how you dress, the food that you eat. Some people are just like that. The thing that you have to understand is that no matter how bad they make you feel, you must never become like them. You must never just let hate overtake you to where you stop thinking like a sensible person and become a bad person. Like many of the villains that I have fought over the years, let hate overtake them. Venom hates me so much that he let it consume his life. The Green Goblin is another one. He hates me so much that he can't think about anything else. He doesn't care if the things that he's doing are right or wrong. But I'm going to refer you to the Marvel Encyclopedia. Now, when I decide to go to this, I look up the page beforehand and mark it so that I can get straight to it, so I don't waste a whole bunch of time fumbling. This is someone that a lot of you will probably recognize. Jolly J. Jonah Jameson. Not very jolly, especially where I am concerned. From the moment he saw me, he decided I was a bad person. You know, I'm used to a lot of people getting kind of weirded out by me, like people don't like spiders and so they get creeped out by that, or you can't see my eyes and they get a little freaked out. I've seen little kids get a little scared because of that. But most of you know I'm one of the good guys. At least I try. You know, I've made the mistakes of being selfish before and it cost me. So now I just try to do the right thing. But Jameson can't see that. Because he decided to hate me. He had decided to hate me so much, he just committed to that decision to where nothing I do will ever change his mind. If I save someone from a fire, he'll say I started it. If I stop a robbery, he'll say I was working with the robbers. It doesn't matter what I do, he will always look for the bad in it. He will see things that I had nothing to do with and blame me. And that's just how he is. And it's true, sometimes when I'm around him, I get a little petty. I've webbed his mouth shut, I've webbed him to his chair, I've broken his cigars, doing little things to annoy him. But I've never hurt him. No matter how angry I get at the things that he says, I don't punch him, I don't toss him out of a window, and I easily could. But that wouldn't be right. And so what I guess I'm saying is that you kind of need to learn from my example. I deal with him, yeah. The webbing his mouth shut, probably not the best way to handle it, but I will never let myself become what he says I am. He says that I'm as bad as the people I fight, and that's not true. Which is another thing. A lot of people, because he runs a newspaper, a lot of people hear his stuff, the things that he says about me all the time. And some of them believe it. And there's nothing I can do about that. It really comes down to, the word is prejudice. I'm sure you've heard that word. What it means is when you make up your mind about someone or something before you have all the facts. And that's never a good idea. He made up his mind about me from the moment he saw me, and we've just been having problems ever since. And it should never come to that. See, I look at a situation and try to make the best judgment. But what I really want to do is understand the truth. That's what it's always been about for me. Understanding the truth of a person and going from there. Now, when I see someone doing a bad thing, I deal with the bad thing that they're doing. And that's all. You know, when I leave somebody webbed up, trust, they did something bad and I saw it. Usually. I've made a mistake here or there a time or two. But I learn from that and try to do better next time. So, that's the thing that I want everyone to take from this. Don't be like Jameson is towards me. Don't just jump to conclusions. That's what this really means, jumping to conclusions. Making up your mind when you don't really know who the person is or what they're about. Because you could end up becoming just like the people that I fight. A lot of them, you have to understand, nobody's born bad. Let me say that right off. No one is born bad. But sometimes we don't get the love and acceptance and encouragement that we need growing up. I got it from Aunt May and Uncle Ben. Most of you get that from your parents, but let's face it, a lot of people don't. For one reason or another, they do not get the things that they need that help them grow into good people. And so they end up taking it out on everyone. Most of the villains that I fight are angry at the world. They feel like the world robbed them of something, and they're going to take it back one way or another. Doc Ock is a great example of that. And sometimes I try to get them to understand that it just doesn't have to be that way. I look at Green Goblin, Doc Ock. These guys are really smart. They're smarter than me. I could have never figured out how to build the things that they have built. But the things that they have created, that they use for evil, just show how much they could do if they were focusing on good. But, like I said, something went wrong somewhere along the way. Something went off the rails, and they decided to be bad people. And that's what you're seeing out in the world, is some people who are just angry about the way that things turned out in their lives, and they decided to hurt rather than help, to hate rather than love. But you must never let that happen to you. And that's all I wanted to talk about today. I think that when we return, I'll go back to reading from that fun collection of stories, Silly Things Happen. It's cool to talk about friendship and growing and things of that sort. But when things like this are happening, Old Webhead has to say something. So, tune in next time. Earlier Spider time, same Spider channel. And, as always, Excelsior!
Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud. He's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Welcome fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang, wherever